So what if is a really cool 2 words. Actually, if you've spent any time on our website, if you've read our manifesto, I don't know that any of you have. If you happen to be at our YouTube channel, you would know that we actually think it's the greatest 2-word pairing ever.
What if we could get everyone in the world together to record what they know in one place?
So what if you make a product so funky looking that it really catches people's attention?
What if Victoria's Secret in 1997, who wasn't on the internet, had a really big and bold e-commerce presence?
What if you had an idea that you thought could change many lives?
I have seen these what if questions asked. What if we could cure cancer? What if we could make that surgery painless?
So in December of last year, we thought, what if we had an innovation summit? And the businesses of the future are going to need the functional areas of finance and marketing and operational excellence and everything else. But they're also increasingly demanding this area of top-line revenue growth through customer centricity and a whole host of other things.
We're talking about top-line growth and value creation by corporations through the development of new products, services, and processes. We found there was an overwhelming support for innovation as a subject matter and training area for business school students, because what we heard from the corporate environment over and over again was that this is a distinct area, separate and different from traditional research and development, and most school students coming out of business programs are not prepared to work in this manner. But what each of today's speakers have in common is that each of their organizations in one way or another is renowned for innovation. Some strategically so, and very literally and rigorously so. Others from a more creative and intuitive perspective.
Innovation is beyond the typical R&D concept of invention because it includes meeting the need of a customer, turning into a business success. And I think my own former CEO of A.G. Lafley really picked on that point by saying that, years ago, inspired us in P&G by seeing the words you see up here that says it requires a customer or a consumer to turn an invention into an innovation.
What you have to have is a culture that believes in the impossible, like we were talking about earlier today, and locks arms to figure it out, because it isn't any one person. You can't have innovation happening from any one person. There were literally dozens of people, once the idea was a germ, that had to actually get involved and make it happen. So there was a whole bunch of things that we had to figure out.
Hand packing into pints. We hand write every single label for our pints. We hand pack it with a spatula, hand write a batch number on it, and that's how we did it. We did 10,000 pints last week in our kitchen. So when we hire people to come work in our very small kitchen, 500 square feet is our kitchen space, they have to have good handwriting because we don't have enough room for people to just be handwriters or just be dishwashers or just be whatever. Everybody has to do a little bit of everything. It isn't something I think you see in a lot of places. We have a Rhodes Scholar in our kitchen. We have about 20 different people with art degrees. All of these people are sort of perfect people to be doing our ice cream. They've been referred to even just today as the hipster Oompa Loompas.
The message here is, if you're innovating brand new business processes, be prepared to get rid of your first attempt or greatly revise it.
The great thing I know about the first prototype I make, the only one thing I know about it is that it's wrong.
And we think that based on population and production numbers, there should be something between 15 and 20 million AK-47s in Africa. That means that the poorest continent on the planet has between $4 and $6 billion invested in guns. But what if you could take that money and convert it into stuff that they need? And we don't know what the answer is. We haven't specifically figured out how we would do it. We've thought very hard. We've had a lot of people tell us, this is impossible, this is intractable, the State Department can't figure out what to do. How are you going to do it? And I don't know what the answer is. All I can tell you is if you start asking the question, what if, you think about life this way. But what matters is what you do after you ask the question, what if? Is it an academic exercise, or do you really do something about it? Because I think that's what really matters, whether you're making shoes or teaching students or trying to change something in Africa.